Feldman-Makrias, and what we're going to go through right now is how to sell more cars in your market using Google. And I'm going to emphasize your market in this scenario. I was at a dealership yesterday, and we talked a lot about the market area. And unfortunately, they were down in their market area. How did we know this? Well, it actually wasn't even brought to their attention before us doing this. Let me show you this report that we run. Now, depending upon what store you have, depending upon what franchise you run, whatever it is, you have a pump in, pump out, or DMA report, meaning how many cars you actually sold in your designated area, right? So this report emulates something similar. I'm going to blow it up here in a second. And this is really what led to our discovery. So basically, this is a dealer competitive report. On the left-hand side is a sample responsibility or area of responsibility, DMA, AOR. I use those interchangeably, whether or not they should be, but I do. So let's call it area of responsibility for this video purpose. So this is the dealer's sample AOR. Again, I took all the stuff out to anonymize the store, but these are numbers to reflect, right? So let's say that this was their AOR. This graph over here actually represents how many models they sold. Each little bar here is an individual model. Starting from the left with their highest model, moving to the right with their lowest volume model, okay? So in this situation, we're looking at a given time span of a couple months. And what this indicates is, let's pretend this is their high volume SUV, fill in the blank. You know, Nissan Rogue, Toyota RAV4, Toyota Highlander, Honda CRV, whatever the highest volume model is on a new car franchise. They sold 30 of them in this time period, and the market sold 61. So that means in their area, this area, there were 61 other vehicles, 61 other of these models from other dealers sold in their area. So they lost a big percentage of opportunity. And then this difference actually shows their year-over-year performance. They were down 5.3%. So they're losing their highest volume vehicle, right? Highest volume vehicle to their competition. This is the one thing we have to look at. Like, there's so many numbers and different things to look at, but if we're going to look at and focus on the small hinges that we can adjust to swing the big doors, we got to look at the most meaningful, impactful stuff. This is their number one volume seller. They're down 5.3%. There's 61 other sales that are happening in this area from other dealers. We need to figure that out, right? So even when we go down here, we're the top in this area, but unfortunately, we're losing share. And this is overall sales. So this chart actually breaks down overall sales, but I want to focus on this vehicle. Let's go with the high volume SUV, right? So again, insert whatever franchise you want, Nissan Rogue, Toyota CRV, Honda CRV, Toyota RAV4, whatever. But these are an actual example. So now, what do we do? Well, when we had this conversation, a large piece of the budget is spent on digital advertising, paid campaigns, both in Meta and Google Ads. So with that, the immediate thought was, okay, what's our coverage for this actual model? If you don't know your coverage for the specific model breakouts, these are questions you need to ask. Let me repeat myself. If you are losing market share in any specific vehicle to your competitors inside your market, you need to look at your area of coverage for the campaigns. So let's keep going. Next page. So again, I brought over their DMA or AOR targeting. So this is their DMA or AOR, whatever you want to call it. Now, the actual Google Ads targeting for this high volume SUV campaign, only a campaign, again, that was for this guy right here, their number one selling vehicle. This is what the campaign targeting looked like. This, again, this is what our area of responsibility is. This is what the campaign targeting looks like. Does anybody see a problem with this? Well, what's the difference? Not only are we targeting our area of responsibility, but we're targeting all of these little surrounding areas. So we're trying to dip into other people's markets. But it honestly does not make any sense at all, because why would we go after other people's markets, other stores' markets, if in fact we are not doing a good enough job in covering our own? And this was the main impact conversation that we had yesterday. And it helps to look at all this data, because then we can see, oh my gosh, this is one of our major advertising sources. We're down this in vehicles. We need to make a change. What are we going to do? So what we decided is this area of responsibility versus our current targeting area. What we decided to do was eliminate these other extraneous targeting. I see this oftentimes in car dealers and in entrepreneurs and business owners. Everybody wants to be everything, but we just can't. When we do better is when we focus, when we laser target and focus in. If we're not owning our backyard, why the hell would we go after other people's backyards? We need to protect our backyard first. And that just makes the most logical sense. It's not oftentimes compared or easily compared, our actual coverage versus what we're getting in the market and what the results look like. So if you're not doing this, if you do not compare your campaign targeting versus your area of responsibility, pump in and pump out for specific models, that is something you need to do. That is something that we do and my entire team does as best practices, because these are the ways that you can actually sell more cars with Google. And guess what, guys? It's actually not that complicated, but it's very easy with all this different minutia of stuff going on to overlook this. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm very curious to know if you know what your bubbles are, if you know what your radiuses are. And let me, I'll advise this. You may think you do, or you may have this one picture, but honestly, the picture is not the same across all campaigns. In Google, specifically, how it works is campaigns have their own individual radius. So maybe all the campaigns look like this, or maybe some look like this, some look like this, and some even look different from that. The one thing I would ask, audit your targeting for all of your campaigns. You're spending thousands and thousands, in most cases, tens of thousands of dollars a month in this. You need to make sure you know it on a campaign level. I hope this was helpful. David Feldman-Makrias signing out. Let me know in the comments of what you think, and I'll see you next time.